Streaming. Start recording. Okay.
We are live.
We are low.
We are live.
Yeah, I typed it in sometimes by accident.
Yeah.
Stupid keyboard. So we are live right now. This is AoX Wrestling Podcast Episode 2. And we lost your video.
It's okay.
Hello, I'm excited, says the Alchemist. I'm excited too, because, we watched the
A lot to
show.
talk about, yo.
What?
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. We watched that show last night. It was great. Great pay-per-view. The Swerve and Keith Lee match, to me, was match of the night. But we're not here to talk about that right now. Because after the great pay-per-view that I watched, the one thing I will say about the pay-per-view is it was too damn long. The matches don't need... Literally, the matches was like 25 minutes apiece. You know, it gets to the point where these matches get boring.
Yeah, and you can kind of feel it with the crowd, too. Like, they were starting
the crowd
to,
was like dead besides the entrances in a few spots. The
Yeah.
Lee and Swerve match,
that was like...
that started out very slow, but by the end, the crowd was all over that.
Yeah.
That crowd was ready
They were
to
on their
go.
feet.
They
Like,
wanted
they
those
were-
guys, man, the Acclaim, and that was good. That's what you need to be. That's what you need to do. They got it. Everyone in that match got it, and they
Yeah.
put on a hell of a match. It was match of the night.
Everybody looked good. Like, it was great. Like, that's another match. Like, if you're going to show somebody, like, for the first time, like, yo, you need to watch this. Like, that's a match you introduce somebody to, you know? Like, it was real, real good.
So we have the live chat room open right now. The Alchemist is in the chat. He says, hello, I'm excited. And Richard is in the live chat saying, what's going on? What's going
up,
on?
Richard?
Unfortunately, we're not here to talk about the pay-per-view, really. We're here to talk about what happened at the media scrum. Now, It was me, Jeff, and Frank. We watched the whole pay-per-view. It was super long. And we were like, all right. And Jesus is now in the live chat. What's going on? And I'm like, let's watch the media scrum. Because last month I joked that it was better than the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The media scrum. And I always watch the media scrums. So I was like, you know what? The media scrum is in like half an hour. Let's just watch it, right? And they're like, okay. Frank was tired, but he was like, I'll watch it. Dude, we're watching it. And Frank and I are like this. We're like, there was a fire lit.
Oh boy, was there a fire?
So, CM Punk being CM Punk, man. And that was probably the best part of the show. I spent $50 on the pay-per-view. The scrum was free. I think I got more money out of the scrum than the pay-per-view, to be honest with you. But, man, I don't know where to go from here. We've known for a couple of months now that there has been problems with the backstage atmosphere with AEW, but this guy he laid all the cards out on the table, and that was it, man.
He just flat out came out and was just like, look, this is what's happening. This didn't happen. That didn't happen. He just threw it all out there for the most part. And like, he basically shushed Tony Khan right in front of him. Like, he completely cut him off when he tried to
I like CM Punk. I don't have a problem with the guy, obviously, right? What do I don't know. Right. I think he's one of the best wrestlers of all time. We've talked about that here. I think it's bullshit that these guys went out and made rumors about this dude. He's just coming back from retirement. He just wants to to do this. He doesn't have much time left in his run.
He's trying to help the young
He's trying
generation.
to help the company. He just wants to do this and get it over with. And these guys are always just standing in his way, and he's just tired of it. And I think
Yeah.
he just, professional or not, man, he just let it out last night. And Tony Khan is just sitting there like, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is the company is like over. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. Here's what this guy Tony Khan should have done. He should have said, "All right, anybody want to talk about the match?
Right.
Just change the subject." Instead, he's just sitting there like, yeah, yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I work with a bunch of fucking kids in the back. Yeah, yeah, you do, yeah, yeah." I'm like, no, no.
Dude, like, if that doesn't tell you what kind of leadership is going on back there, I don't know, man. Like,
Well, look, I mean, I get it. The guy comes back, and then all of a sudden he's getting buried by Hangman out of nowhere,
mm-hmm.
and he took his shot the other night. And here's the thing with the CM Punk thing. Every time he takes a shot back at somebody, he's the bad guy. And I'm like, why is he the bad guy? He's defending himself.
Yeah.
And he's right. He said it the thing. He goes, "Yo, these guys made up bullshit rumors about me, and the internet hates me now." And I'm like, that's very true. You know what's funny? Before Triple H took over, before he came back and took over, all I saw were the CM Punk was right memes, where he's telling
Right.
Johnny Ace, and he's telling Triple H, and he's telling Vince McMahon. And now when Triple H comes back and this Punk news breaks, I'm seeing the opposite. I'm like, see, Triple H warned us 11 years ago. And they got clips of Triple H yelling at CM Punk. And it's like, dude, the internet's so stupid.
Honestly,
It's like nobody's ever happy. Nobody knows what they're doing.
it's like
And
they forget.
it's like the
Too.
Goldberg thing. Okay, Goldberg can't work. But you know what? He was a megastar back in the 90s when I was growing up. So what if he wants to come back a couple times a year? Who cares? Well, he didn't earn his spot. He earned his spot like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever it was.
Exactly.
This
Well,
guy,
you think-
CM Punk, earned his spot. So he's got the right to come in and be like, yo, what's up? He's the biggest name in wrestling.
Like, what do you think? Is he supposed to come back and just do squashes on like fucking Rampage and Dark and shit, and then, like, is he supposed to start from the bottom again when he's been on the top for like his entire career? Like,
yeah, man, it's just he's
like,
he's the
what do you
guy.
want? Yeah,
He's the guy. I mean, if you don't have him, then what's the point? And I think
exactly.
they know that. I think Tony Khan knows that, obviously, because he made a big play for him. But I mean, this is everyone's last chance, man.
You have nobody else that can pass the torch down. Cena is gone. Cena's not coming back. He's not giving that torch down to anybody. He's gone to Hollywood. He's probably never coming back to WWE. Freaking Punk is really the last like named guy who had traction at the time he was popular to really take a torch and give it to the rest of the guys in the back, because right now the business needs it, because we don't have guys like Rock and Austin. Rock and Austin, they are past their prime. They can't really go like they used to. They can't have matches, and they can't work a schedule like you would want them to. Like CM Punk. CM Punk can still work a schedule. He can still, do what he has to do to help get guys over. You get Rock and Austin, these one-off things.
He comes in to fight Adam Page, and all of a sudden, this guy cuts a promo on him, that's really messed up. Personally, takes a dig at him. It's like, wait a minute, he's never even had a match with this guy yet.
Right.
It's like, why
And now I thought, like,
work with
okay,
this guy, or what? Why don't you not just cut promos like that on the guy and sabotage him live on TV, and just be like, yo.
And that's like another thing is like I thought that was something to play off that whole thing, like all the Punk abandoned people and Punk did all the, like, I thought that was just for the story type thing. But apparently that wasn't the
We
case.
all
Maybe,
did until there's one scene in that promo where Hangman is like cutting on him,
yeah,
and then you see Punk just be like, and then he's like, the microphone kind of picks up, but not really. He goes, "You serious?"
yeah,
And he starts like laughing, like wow, where'd that come from?
right,
But oh no. So in the live chat, Jesus says, "Thanks for joining us last night, Eli, on the Rock
yeah,
Solid Wrestling Talk podcast over at M3 TV on YouTube for your weekly wrestling coverage. Go there. Basically, we are just every once in a while. I think they're taking a break right now, but they'll be back.
yeah. They're probably gonna talk about this too.
Moving the goalpost. He's talking about when the fans say the Triple H thing and the CM Punk thing, and then they reverse it. Tony Khan didn't even try to redirect once. No.
He
And
did.
we're
He
sitting
did.
there and we're like, eh, Frank and I are just like, we
Like he
just,
could have stopped it. He could have been like, right when that guy asked about Colt Cabana, he should have been like, "Hey, let's not answer that question. Whatever, move on."
dude, it was the funniest thing ever because
He
CM
didn't
Punk
do it.
is like sitting there, like, yeah, this fucking guy, when he's just eating a muffin, and then he's licking his fingers, and I'm like, this is like a scene from a comedy movie, like a parody.
Yeah,
It's literally a scene from like a comedy film, and I'm just like, I'm laughing my ass off. My wife watched it; she thought it was the funniest thing ever. She loves CM Punk. She loves the fact that he just doesn't care and he's just eating the muffin, and this guy's talking, and he's like. And then sometimes, like, as Tony Khan's talking, CM Punk is also like, or he's making like funny faces.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. Yo, that was like the best press conference of all time. However, there was an issue. I think AEW set their microphones with a lower pitch voice, and everyone sounded like Satan and the devil.
yeah.
Dave Meltzer asked a question, and he sounded like a goblin. Like, I don't.
That was funny. That's like that made the press conference just like the entire thing funny to
At
watch.
first, I was like, "Oh, this is all ruined now," but I'm like, "This literally is the press conference from hell, or a media scrum from hell." I don't know. I don't know what a scrum is. That's some newer word that they've been using the last few years,
Yeah,
or at least I haven't heard of that. I've always heard of press conferences, but probably the same thing. So, hey, he talked about how Colt Cabana basically, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly here, screwed him over and all that stuff, and the lawsuits that they had and the back and forth, because apparently one of the reporters in the audience was friends with Cole Cabana, and he recognized the name, and he goes, "Hey, aren't you friends with Cole Cabana?" And then
mhm,
the guy was like, "No, I don't really talk to him no more." And then that's when CM Punk let him have it about Cole Cabana. And CM Punk's right. He goes, "Who cares if I was friends with this guy 10 years ago? Why does the internet care? Who gives a
right.
shit?" He goes, "It's embarrassing we have to even talk about this at this press conference, and it's taking time away from me, the champion, talking about the match tonight."
Mhm.
100%, man. But what are you gonna do? I mean, the guy, he's trying to make things right with this company, and all of a sudden now he comes in, he's got to deal with all this crap. And we know that the Bucks have been screwing with FTR, and maybe that's weighing on his mind too, because he's friends with
Right.
FTR. So maybe he's like, you know what? These guys are screwing everybody over in this company. I'm fucking tired of it. Maybe it's just it came crashing now, literally. I think he used that word too.
Yep. I
Um,
mean,
Go ahead.
it puts the company in kind of a weird position because now it's like, okay, now we know all the infighting and all the bull crap is true. and now it's like, well, how are they gonna like? How's Tony gonna handle it? Because you kind of like touched on it too. Like he's sitting there and he's just nodding. He's agreeing with Punk. And it's like, well,
Well, I don't know if
he's not really
I don't know if
agreeing with
he's
him, but
agreeing with him, but he's not. He's nodding,
he's not
and you're just
intervening.
like, you're like,
Kind of
okay,
being.
no, 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 no. This is what he should have done to him last night. Listen,
Yeah, right.
Punk is saying stuff, and instead of Tony Khan just be like looking like dead straight or something, or like looking at the other press members, just like trying to like get away from that. He's just like
Mhm.
dead looking and like, yes, daddy, yes, 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 daddy. And every time Tony Khan tries to talk, Punk just interrupts him in certain spots. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, no, don't worry about that shit. And he's like, huh? And it's like, wow. Can you imagine if, like, I don't know, Rey Mysterio, what's his son's name?
Dominic.
If Dominic Mysterio, Triple H is at a press conference, and all of a sudden Dominic Mysterio just goes, yeah, no, no, no. Yo, he's dead.
Oh,
Like, he's done. Like, it's
right.
over. His career is done. Hockey
Yeah, I
Fan
think
is here. Big time sponsor of the channel. Hockey Fan's been with me for almost 20 years. You know that, right? Just like you
they
and the other guys.
they here freaking years, yeah.
Seems like AEW is turning into high school. Yeah, remember when they promised that wasn't going to happen?
And we're gonna hold the guys back and none of that, and all these guys are complaining about how they're getting held back.
So, what we're talking about is FTR is winning all the tag titles. And they're supposed to have the rubber match with the Bucks and beat the Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championships. However, the Bucks turn around and just randomly drop them to Swerve and Keith Lee, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But originally, the plan was they were going to lose the rubber match to FTR. FTR was going to have all the championships.
Right.
But instead of losing to FTR and giving FTR all the titles like they were supposed to, since they're EVPs, they're like, you know what? We're going to give it to these guys instead, and we're going to jump into the Trios titles because FTR can't follow us into the Trios titles. Because they're too busy being the tag team champions.
Right.
So that's it. They use their EVPs allegedly and apparently they use their EVP powers to dodge FTR.
Yeah, which is
Basically, they put
typical.
FTR in their own lane and they're in their own lane.
Yeah.
So yes, Hockey Fan is right. It seems like it's turning into high school over there.
I don't know. This stuff kind of robs the fans of like seeing stuff, because the fans really wanted to see FTR and the Bucks. They probably put on a banger match, but it's like when you do stuff like this, it kind of comes out as like you know more bullshit. Like stuff in wrestling won't change. Like stuff is always going to be like guys are going to play
Well,
the
they
loop a
were going
little.
to change the world, and all they did was, I mean, they did. They look. AEW needs to stick around. Okay, the best case scenario, Jesus is right. It does the fans a disservice. There you go. Now, do I think Keith Lee and Swerve deserve the tag title? Hell yeah. Those guys are great. I told you guys right now, last night at the pay per view, that was match of the night. Because it
Yeah.
started out dead ass slow. I was like, this match is dead. You're talking like 5-10 minutes in, it started picking up. And it didn't stop picking up. Like, that match had everything in it. And the fans
Hmm.
were going freaking crazy at the end. Fantastic. That's all I can say. And, it sucks the Acclaim didn't win, but you know what? Now Tony Khan knows exactly what he has. And hopefully, next time around, they can make the match even bigger and better. And that's when Acclaim gets the tag team championships.
Yeah. They're going to get their time. Like they
Yeah,
didn't look
yeah.
bad at all. Like they put up. It's not like they did a whole squash. Like they put up a good fight, and it was a good performance. Like they put them over even. You know after they lost the match. Like it was good.
You claim should get a rematch at Grand Slam and go over. I think they will. I think you're going
Yeah.
to see that because, like I said, now Tony Khan knows exactly what he has with both teams. He knows that they could get it done in the ring, and he knows that the Acclaimed is super duper over.
Hmm.
Hockey fan, I need to go back and watch the pay per view. Yeah, just know that the matches are really long. I don't know why they did that last time, and it's kind of annoying.
Mhm. There was just a lot of matches too.
Every
No.
match doesn't have to be a half an hour long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I watch wrestling, but I don't need to see the grappling and the touching and the fucking whatever the hell else they do. The suplexes over and over. It's like, come on, guys, just wrestle the match. Let's do it.
Right.
You don't need an hour a match. This is what kills Raw every friggin' week at 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Certain matches are short. Yeah, Christian's match. And what else? What was the other match? It was short. It was like one other match.
I feel like the women's match was kind of short too.
Yeah, it was. Um, but yeah, no, the matches they got to be cut down, man. I'm falling asleep in the middle of the matches. The Jade Athena match, I actually think that was timed perfectly
Yeah.
because they were able to actually have a match. It wasn't a squash, and it ended exactly how it should have ended, and that was it.
Yeah.
But Athena had time to shine in that match too, so it wasn't like all about Jade. It was perfect, perfectly paced. Whoever booked that one, they deserve kudos for sure. But so, um, besides that, the long matches like you're good. The show's good,
Yeah.
but check out the Swerve and the Lee match versus the Acclaim because that is the match of the night. I
It
will
was.
100%. I told everybody in the room was like that's the match of the night, and they all agreed. And I
Yeah.
said that before the rest of the show aired. I was like, that's it, and really nothing really even topped it. The world
Hmm.
title match was okay, but it wasn't like because of the fucking attitude of the fan base. That's what ruins these matches too. Because these guys they read the shit about this guy on the internet, so now they're not going to cheer the guy, or they're going to be more inclined to second guess what's going to happen, or they're going to be more critical of the booking and all this stuff. This is what ruins the
Right.
product for everybody. You know what I mean? But whatever. So back to this whole punk thing. Look, I don't blame the guy. I really don't blame the guy. And if shit's going down backstage that he knows about, we don't know about. Hey man, and he said, "Hey, come get me. If you have a problem with me, come up to me." And they came up to him all
Well, I
right.
know. He came up to it.
So allegedly and apparently, after the scrum, he goes backstage, and the Bucks are waiting for him, and Kenny Omega's waiting there, and allegedly Punk throws a punch. There's a scuffle. A chair is thrown by Ace Steel. Hits Nick Jackson right in the eyeball. Kills him. No, I'm kidding. Hits him in the eyeball. And he allegedly Ace Steel grabs Kenny Omega by the hair and bites him.
I
This
he doesn't.
is all in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, so I'm not making it up. This is what I read. I don't know if it's true or not. We don't know yet.
I don't know. It could be a whole
But
page of art.
allegedly, the punks, they should be called the
The
punks,
punks.
the Bucks. Allegedly, the Bucks and Kenny Omega threatened to quit the company if this
Yeah.
isn't resolved. Oh, these people on
Meaning,
crack, says the Alchemist. So let me explain to people in the chat. The Alchemist doesn't watch wrestling, but he watches this channel. And every time we talk about wrestling, he's fascinated as to how crazy it is behind the scenes. He doesn't want to watch wrestling at all. But when we talk about the behind the scenes stuff, he can't believe that people act this way. Listen, here's the thing too. We know that the Bucks and Dave Meltzer are like close. And they're always leaking story. And that's another thing too. CM Punk was like, people need to stop leaking shit. We know that they're close, and we know that they probably tell Meltzer everything that goes on. You don't know if they twist stuff and they tell Dave, and Dave's like, oh no, it's true, they told me. It's like, did they tell you the truth though?
All right.
We don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? I think at the end of the day, though, everyone wants this shit. Everyone wants them to just get in a room, settle this shit, and just be done with it and move on for the sake of the company. Here's the thing: if Kenny and the Bucks leave, they're going to WWE and they're going to do that whole deal with Cody Rhodes. And WWE is going to benefit on it. But WWE is going to be like, yo, we got all their EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll bring in the Good Brothers, and then you'll have the full elite over there. If they fire CM Punk, he's out of the business. Because he didn't come out of retirement to deal with shit like this. That's why he didn't go back to WWE. If they fire the Bucks and the Bucks leave with Omega, AEW is a completely different company. And they got to rely on CM Punk, and they better hope at 40 whatever years old, this guy can deliver. This is going to be a mess, one way or another. Hopefully they can all get in a room, just squash this shit, and be done with it. For the sake of the company. I mean, if not, it seems like this might go up. I don't think AEW will get a business anytime soon, but this is starting to look like the beginning of the end. I told them last night, I told Frank and Jeff, I was like, yo, this is the beginning of the end of AEW. Like, this could be the beginning of the end.
Unless they...
You just witnessed the beginning of the end. Because this guy was interrupting the boss. Right. And I'm like, no one interrupts the boss. And the boss is just sitting there taking, and I was like, that's not good.
No.
It's not good. That's some WCW shit, which we've been saying on here. In the last podcast, we had the WCW logo. We've been saying that for a couple of months now when we heard about the backstage issues. A lot of people are getting WCW 2005. Yeah, I know. I've been telling you guys that for weeks, for months, however long it's been. The minute the reports started coming out that these guys were not having a good time together, I was like, this sounds like some WCW stuff. They need to put their big boy pants on and work this shit out. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Look, we want CM Punk in AEW. We want AEW to succeed. We want the Young Bucks in AEW. We want Kenny Omega in AEW. We want Hangman Page in AEW. Look, whether you like him or not, Hangman Page is the future of the company. If he walks and goes to WWE, they have no future of the company. They have to rebuild somebody else. You think MJF is going to stay in AEW? That guy's going to win the AEW title, and then he's going to go to WWE. He ain't going to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, it's a work. Okay, but when his contract comes up in a couple of years, he's going. And you know who's going to be waiting for him? Big old Cody Rhodes. He's going, baby, I've been waiting for you, baby. It's been too long, baby.
He's going to turn to Dusty.
He has to. It's his destiny. He's got to get fat and turn into Dusty. He's already got the blonde hair, right?
All right. He's got to talk with a lisp and everything.
He already does.
Look, they got to do something. They got to just they got to take this whole thing and turn it into a storyline. Because to me, that's kind of like what
Vince Russo
for wrestling. And I think if they do that, like it'll just be like, it'll leave a lot of unpredictability. Because I mean, look at what everything's now. Now everybody thinks everything's a work, so you might as well
Well,
feed
everyone thinks
into.
everything's a work because everyone's stupid. What is the work? What was the work for Cody Rhodes to go to WWE? AEW made a lot of money off that deal, huh?
All right, the MJF thing. I mean,
Everything's a work because here's the thing: the fans just don't want to believe this shit. They don't want to believe that these guys are having problems. Oh no, he said it. He said it on camera, so it's a work. No, he's fucking pissed off, and he said on camera, "I'm fucking tired of working here."
yeah,
Well, he didn't really say that, but he said he's tired of working with children or whatever the hell it was. And you know what's funny? Who said all this shit years ago? Who was the guy?
that
Who?
was
Your
it.
buddy Jim Cornette. He called all of this shit. He said they shouldn't be hired as EVPs. He said all this shit. All this shit is happening now.
Yeah,
He's the Notre Dameist of pro wrestling. You know why? Because he was in the business for 40 fucking years.
he made freaking money, unlike these guys.
Well, I mean, he called everything. Everything that he said was going to go down happened. And that his show is going to blow up when that video is uploaded on YouTube of him talking about this.
Right.
It's going to be like a homecoming party because he called everything that ended up happening with these guys. Because everyone's like, "Oh no, he's wrong because the Bucks wouldn't do that. They're not going to hold people back. They're not going to do this." And they did every single thing. They did
Mhm.
everything they said they weren't going to do. And now they're fucking with the top dog in pro wrestling. In my opinion, CM Punk. Here's the thing: if Punk quits, who's gonna want to fucking go to AEW and deal with these guys? Because if they did it to him, they could do it to anybody else.
Yeah. It happens. It happens all the time in wrestling. Like you have the one guy that's the top dog, and look, you had like Booker T and Buff Bagwell. Look what happened with them. All those guys politic the hell out of them, and then freaking, you didn't see Buff Bagwell ever again. He's gone from the business. You know,
Well, that
and
was kind of
gave
different,
Booker
but
T a hard time when he was coming in.
DDP got really fucked over more than Buff Bagwell.
DDP's guy.
Buff Bagwell got fired, and yeah, they bullshitted his release. They said, "Oh, he didn't go to work or whatever." We all know that was bullshit. They just didn't want him anymore.
Yeah.
He had a backstage issue with Hurricane Helms, and that's what did him in.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know where you go from here. It's a bad look upcoming to the free agents. It's a bad look to up and coming. Oh, okay, up and coming free agents. Yes, but I mean also say John Cena just said, you know what, man, I'm just fucking done with WWE. I want to go to AEW. I want to go there for like I don't know a couple of shots. Is he gonna want to go there now?
All right.
It's like, oh, if I go there, are these guys gonna fuck with me? If I go there and I hug FTR and I say what a great job those guys are doing, are these Bucks, the young Bucks, gonna fuck with me over here? That's the risk you run with this now.
Yeah.
They could use this as a catalyst for Punk versus Omega. I think Omega wants CM Punk out of the company and not anywhere near him at this point. Hopefully they can work this all out. We don't have to talk about this anymore. Look, we started this whole thing where these guys are going to come together. They're going to start something different. They're going to have a different federation. It's not going to be Vince McMahon's vision of pro wrestling. And what is it doing? It's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right when it started getting good last year, all of a sudden now, everything's coming crashing down.
just got to suck it up and do business. I mean, even if they don't want to do business together, fuck it, and don't do any programs together. But again, you're robbing the fans at the end of the day. Look at Hogan and Savage. Hogan and Savage hated the fuck out of each other. Like after the whole Mega Powers thing and all that bullcrap. Like in WCW, like they hated each other, but they did business together because that's what was good for business. That's what made everybody money when they freaking were
Yeah, but
teaming
these
up.
guys today, they don't do that. And you know what it is? The thing with Punk is he's a veteran of the business.
Yeah,
These guys aren't.
no,
Oh, well, they've been wrestling for
they
like
didn't.
10 years in their backyard. Like, okay, whatever. He's a veteran of the
Yeah.
business. He wants respect. You know what I mean?
Punk came up like with traditional kind of like wrestler
He's the
values. Like,
protege of Harley Race, for God's sakes. So he's
yeah,
old school. And when these guys run around and say shit like that, he gets pissed off.
yeah,
So, I mean, he's like in between the old school and the new school. But, I mean, these guys don't understand that. They're just like, oh, well, I have a job now in the United States, blah, blah, blah. Not a good look, man. You got to treat this guy with respect, at least a little bit of respect. This guy trailblazed the business for these other guys. Where were the Bucks when he was in WWE? Impact? Were they even on the scene at this point?
they weren't even really doing anything in Impact. Like they were cool, they were good wrestlers, and they had good matches. But I mean, nobody was talking about them when they were in Impact.
I don't know. I
They
can't
went to
remember that
Japan.
long ago where they were. I really didn't follow the Young Bucks. I heard about them,
Yeah,
but I
they
didn't
went to
follow them
Japan.
until New Japan and AEW and all this shit.
They bit off the Bullet Club thing because that wasn't even their thing. They weren't even. They didn't come into like maybe the second incarnation of the Bullet Club. So like they really weren't like that whole thing blew them up, and I think that's kind of where they got their ego at was that whole thing. It's like
Right.
well, so meh. What do you do? Everybody's got an ego in wrestling. Even these little freaking indie guys who get paid $20, they want to keep their spot so they can keep getting their $20 envelopes at the end of the night. I mean, it's everywhere. It's in everything, every type of business.
So
You got
my
people that
so my wife, she watched this whole thing.
yeah.
She said the funniest line that CM Punk said was, Cole Cabana shares a bank account with his mother, and that's all you need to know about him. She thought that was really funny.
Yeah. That was kind of like something too that I was like, did he need to put that out there? But I mean, I guess it's out there because it was a
Yeah, but you
direct
know
case.
what? Here's the thing, and this is the internet, man. The internet is always the guy that keeps punching you, the bully.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to hit back is when the teacher turns around and goes, yeah. That's the internet. This guy is the guy that keeps getting beat up on. And when the teacher turns around, he's like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. It's
Yeah.
absolute bullshit. It's like he's not. Okay, so if you don't defend yourself, you're a pussy. If you defend yourself, oh no, what the hell's wrong with you? There's something mentally wrong with you. You're a pussy. You're obviously a child. It's like, so you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. He might as well just defend himself and just fucking tell these people, yo, fuck this bullshit. This is not what I came here for. This guy, he's an asshole. We saw the meme today, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Half Baked.
Yeah.
Where he's like, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out. And then he throws the hamburger and it hits Brian Alvarez in the face.
Hamburger.
Because he was in the front, he was in the, at
Yeah.
the scrum. And he said, yeah, I got a problem with you. And he's like, me? What did I do? And he's like, yeah, you're talking bad about me in your coverage. And he's like, I just said what happened on the thing, right? And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Is Brian gonna fucking have a match with Punk now?
What?
Is Brian gonna have a match with Punk now?
You had a match over the weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah. Stupid. Bro, who Tom Lawler? Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, well, I mean, look, I don't know where to go from here. As far as if I were Tony Khan, I'd try to get these guys in the goddamn room. The talent meeting I heard was a fucking joke. If I were Tony Khan, I would get everybody, all the people involved, not Colt Cabana, well, all the people involved, like Hangman, the Elite, all these guys, get them in a room and be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And tell them, be like, yo, you guys got to figure this shit out or I'm suspending everybody. And if you still can't figure it out the second time, you're all fired. What are you going to do? And you can't really fire everybody because you need those guys.
Right.
I know Jesus was like, oh, he can't pick favorites. Yo, fuck the favorites. You got to fire people if you got to fire people. If the Bucks are toxic and they keep fucking with your roster, you got to fire them. You might not want to see them go to WWE or anywhere else, but if the people are toxic, gotta get rid of them. If CM Punk is toxic, which I don't believe like he came there to cause trouble or cause drama. If Punk is found to be the toxic guy, then you gotta get rid of him. But if you get rid of him, just know one thing. No one's ever going to go to that federation. Not a top star is never going to go to that fed and deal with that shit with these guys involved. So, whatever happens, if Tony Khan can't get these guys to like make up and figure it out, AEW is going to break off and be a different company one way or another. If the Elite leaves, AEW is a different company. If CM Punk leaves, AEW remains the company it is, but you're going to have a lot of people look very down on the company. And a lot of people are going to think twice about going there because, like, well, it depends on who I'm friends with. Because if I'm friends with these people, the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman might fuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to WWE, I know Triple H could possibly fuck with me. But if he likes me, I won't be fucked with. You know what I mean?
All right. At this point, there's a lot less to worry about in WWE.
Tony Khan needs to really take control of his own company. And as a business owner, that's my advice. I'm not a wrestler. I don't know shit about anything like that. But as far as business is concerned, you got to take stuff into your own hands. And he already did that with the booking. Remember? A few years ago, that December, the entire month was crap. What was it, 2019, 2020? It
was a disaster. Like that was.
He took the book away from these guys. So he's got to be kind of more like that, you know?
Yeah. He's just got to be more assertive. That's all. Like,
yeah. It's his company. It's his money.
So all those guys would be out of a job if he wasn't there.
And let me tell you something. If this guy really did get hit in the head with a chair or hit in the face with a chair, he's going to sue the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't something where, no, yeah, you know, fire Punk and then I won't sue. No, he'll sue and then they'll have Punk fired or whatever it is. This is going to get ugly. If that really did happen, things are going to get ugly. And we don't know 100% if it happened or not. This is what the Observer is reporting.
Yeah.
You know, I met Dave Meltzer a few years ago. I don't know if he would lie about something like that, but again, he's connected with the Bucks. So I don't know if they told him the correct story. I don't know if the people. Apparently, everyone's going after Punk today. Kevin Owens and fucking Matt Hardy are going after him, and it's like, why are these guys piling on this guy?
Right.
Like what did? Look, as a fan, I'm like, why are these guys piling on? Can you imagine being CM Punk? Now you're gonna worry about, okay, now I got Kevin Owens piling on me. Now I got Matt Hardy piling on me. And then tomorrow 10 other wrestlers will come out and pile on him. This is the way the guy
Right.
has to live. He's just trying to help their company out. And I can understand exactly what this is, why the guy fucking went nuts and started talking. I like how he said, yeah, to all you guys in the room that are doing this, fuck you. But if you're not doing it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Trying to take sides and stick up for their friends. I know why they're doing that, obviously, but that's the problem. No one can shut the fuck up. Let those guys handle it. You know what I mean? This is how this happened in the beginning. So allegedly, Tony Khan was doing budget cuts. He cut the Dark Order. They were going to cut Colt Cabana. They just weren't going to renew their deals. Apparently, the elite guys went up to him and they went to bat for Colt Cabana.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony Khan, I think, made the mistake of saying, okay, you know what? Now that I have CM Punk, I'm going to put Colt Cabana in Ring of Honor so he doesn't interact with CM Punk. That's his call. And you know what? He needs talent for Ring of Honor anyway. Colt Cabana has a history of being in Ring of Honor. Maybe he made the wrong call. Maybe he told the EVPs why he was making that call. And they probably were like, oh, CM Punk must have told me to get rid of him. Even though Tony Khan probably did it on his own. And because of that, Hangman got upset because he was, all these guys are friends. All the indie guys are friends with Colt Cabana. And they were doing the Dark Order gimmick and all this other stuff. And I think that's where Hangman took exception, and that's where the whole promo thing happened. Where he went off script after Punk, and then when Punk came back, he gave him the receipt. And then it's being leaked out that this guy did all this stuff. So, I mean, if you're CM Punk, you come back, and then people are blaming you for firing people. It's like you had no idea this was even happening, or you had no involvement. I'd be pissed off too. It's like what he exactly. I mean, he literally said at the scrum, "What did I do wrong?" He even said to Meltzer, "He's like, Dave, what did I do wrong?" He said, "Tony, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I just came here." And he's not talking about like now, but he's saying like when I got here, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong that led us down this path right now? And that's exactly what AEW said they weren't going to do. They weren't going to play politics. They weren't going to play favorites. They weren't going to do this crazy shit that WWE was doing. Excuse me. Tony Khan, he's already like Vince McMahon. He's pulling 10 guys off the headsets. JR wasn't on the fucking pay-per-view until the last like couple of hours of the show. It's like, what are they doing here? This guy's in the bullpen. This guy's not in the bullpen. This guy's over here. This guy's over there. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
I don't know.
They got to get their stuff in order, man. The announcer thing is just an example of him starting to become Vince.
Yeah.
And that's what we're worried about because we don't need another Vince. Triple H is already an idiot because he fucking lied the other day in an interview. Well, he didn't. I don't know if he lied. Yeah, he did lie. He did lie, and he, once again, typical Triple H. He's the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh, they beat our developmental. Really? The developmental you claimed was a third brand in several interviews? He's just butthurt.
The developmental was so horse shit. Like, you got all these guys that have been on the indies for 10, 15 years, and that's developmental. That's not what fucking developmental is. And I don't think, like, American wrestling companies get what developmental is.
Well, you know what developmental meant to them.
Yeah.
WWE. They would grab the guys off the indies that were popular and deconstruct them to work WWE style.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys couldn't do it, and some of the guys did. Look at Ricochet. He did to an extent, but where is he? He was the top guy in the Indies.
No.
And this guy now, what is he doing? He's on SmackDown shaking his dick like Elvis.
Like,
They didn't develop jack shit. Yeah, they didn't. All Triple H did was buy. And I want to, we talked about this last time, I believe, where these guys, these fans are like, oh, Tony Khan uses daddy's money. I don't remember Triple H opening up his wallet and buying WWE from Vince now, did he, right?
all these
And
guys.
just really quick, too, NXT was losing money. NXT
Yeah.
was funded by WWE. And when they did the books, NXT was always a money loser. None of that money came out of Triple H's pocket. It came out of WWE's money, the company's money. So they have a history, these wrestling promotions, of using daddy's money. All of them. McMahon, he got it from his father. They say, oh, yeah, Vince and Linda bought it from Vince Sr. We don't know if he paid money for it. We don't know if he was handed over the company.
Yeah, he could have just
Nobody knows
fucking.
that. Anybody could say, oh, I bought it. Hey,
Right.
what'd you buy for, $1? RWK88 is in the live chat room right now.
Yo, RWK88.
The McMahons, the Crockett's, the Ganyas, the Carters,
Carter. Yeah.
the Jarretts. Jeff Jarrett didn't buy his promotion from Daddy, right?
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
so
Like, it doesn't matter who gave you the money to start the wrestling promotion. It
wrestling's
matters if the
family.
promotion is good. That's all
Yeah.
that matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, shockingly, the only guy that didn't use Daddy's money to run an organization was Ted Turner himself.
Yeah.
He used his own money to buy the company from the Crockett's, and he ran that shit until it was done.
So that's, we don't want it on TV.
Isn't that funny though? The guy that they always blame that tried to ruin wrestling, Ted Turner, was the only guy that didn't use Daddy's money.
Ted let
Shocking.
the freaking wrestlers do what they were, what they knew how to do. He just gave them money to do it because he liked it.
He just wanted, yeah, he liked wrestling and he just wanted to own a wrestling company. So he
I
bought it.
mean,
Just like Mark Cuban. He won the lottery and he bought the fucking team that's what was the team he bought? The Clippers?
yeah,
Or Jazz, right? Utah Jazz.
I don't remember.
He bought one of the teams, and the first thing he did was fire the coach. Because he's like, yo, for years on the Mavericks. There you go.
Okay.
He fired the coach because he's like, for years, you've been ruining this team. And I've been waiting to win the lottery just to fire you. That was it, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you look at like wrestling here in the states compared to other places is just so different because it's like you go to places again. You go to Japan, and there was only one company there for years. Two guys didn't like each other. Like, you know what? Let's go our separate ways. You do your promotion over there. I'm gonna do my promotion.
And they confused the entire world on what the name of this promotion was.
And then years
New
later,
Japan and All Japan.
and yeah, and then years later, freaking all the guys left All Japan and they made their own thing. And then those guys left, and then they went back, and then those guys that left went back, and all these promotions splintered off. Everybody just like, yeah, I don't want to do that. you know, Here it's like, oh, I don't like what you're doing. I'm gonna freaking destroy and sabotage our entire way of living. You know, Instead of like, hey, let me take this money and reinvest it into the business because I know I can make that money again by doing that. But it's a different culture here. You got a different mindsets and different people, and then obviously the way business is handled. Because like over there, you can literally trademark a name for like $2, and like yeah, it's Steve's Wrestling Federation, and just run Steve's Wrestling Federation over there. You know, and here it's like you got to jump through all these hoops, but it's like at the same time, it's like guys have the money. If they wanted to run their own fucking thing, they can. They just don't want to.
I want to ask you a question now. If you were Tony Khan and these guys they couldn't come to an agreement, what would you do?
Somebody's got to go. I know that much.
You know what? Maybe I shouldn't ask you because even though we're just talking hypotheticals, like
I think
this might actually
even
fuck
if
with you.
I think
What do you
I
think
think you give
a family member of yours would think?
I think you give the guys the space. Like you just like, you know what? You two guys, I'm giving you 2 months off. I don't want you guys near the TV, whatever. Because they're not doing anything on TV anyway. So it's like, okay, you guys are gonna go over there. I'm gonna find somebody who can run the vice president position, and then they'll handle that stuff. Then when they come back, we'll try to have another discussion. If stuff can't come to agreement, then because I mean the show's got to go on. You know, people are expecting Punk to carry at least the rest of the fall into the winter. So you need Punk as the champion. He's your bread and butter. The EVP guys, I mean, I don't know. To me, it sounds like it's just a title that they have so he can get freaking benefits from fucking Tony and the company. So like I feel like you could just run it. I feel like you can run it without them, to be honest.
Well, it's coming out from like Fightful that a lot of WWE guys are saying that CM Punk was quote selfish and arrogant. So apparently they're saying, they better learn to figure out how to make money together and shut up and keep the business going, or they're gonna ruin everything.
Mhm.
And again, everyone's blaming CM Punk like it's his fault. It's like Jesus God,
They act like
dude.
Punk
Talk
is
about a
hopeless.
guy that's been framed for like murder. You know what I mean?
Right.
The guy had nothing to do with Cole Cabana getting with. It's like the Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien bullshit. They always blame Jay Leno. Oh, Jay made NBC give him his job back. Like, no, he didn't.
Right.
NBC switch hosts with like no time. Jay Leno was still number one. NBC thought Jay Leno was going to fizzle out by the time his contract was done and Conan O'Brien was going to take over. Jay Leno's ratings were still high, and NBC was like, oh shit, do we really want to mess with this right now? They put Conan O'Brien on the Tonight Show, which I think Conan O'Brien should be the host of the Tonight Show to this day. Because Jimmy Fallon doesn't do it for me. I don't even watch the Tonight Show anymore. I haven't watched it in years since Fallon took over. Conan O'Brien should have taken the Tonight Show. However, when they gave him the Tonight Show, the ratings dropped. And they were like, you know what? We got to fix this. They bring back Jay Leno, and the ratings got a little bit higher. They never were what they were when before Leno left, because everyone
Yeah.
moved over to David Letterman. But I mean, they were higher than Conan's, and that's the reason why they got rid of him. But Conan O'Brien has this whole thing where he's like, "Oh, Jay did it. I know he did it. Someone told me he did it," and all this other. I'm like, whatever, man. Like, get over it. It sucks, but that's your problem with the network, man. The
Right.
network screwed you over, not this guy. And then they ended
Yeah.
up screwing over Jay Leno too. They just when Comcast bought NBC from GE, the first thing
Mhm.
Comcast said was, "Leno, you're done. You're gonna train Fallon or whatever. You're gonna be his protege. He's gonna be your protege or whatever." So he transitioned over with Fallon, and that was it. And now Jimmy Fallon has like destroyed the Tonight Show, in my opinion. He's not funny at all. Just
I
my
don't even.
opinion.
I don't even watch late night comedy or
I
any of
don't
that.
watch it no more. They got rid of Jay and Dave, so it's over. It ended with those two.
Yeah.
And Conan O'Brien was good, and he should be the host of Tonight Show today. But he didn't renew with TBS because he was doing something with HBO Max. I don't know if that's still happening
Mhm.
now that they're cleaning house over there. But I think Conan O'Brien should be Tonight Show host now because I would
Yeah, that's
watch again.
another company like from within that's falling apart. Freaking
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers is like, we're getting rid of DC Comics. We're getting rid of another run. We're getting rid of all this. This is going. Oh, we don't want to get rid of that. Oh, we don't like these guys. Like, there's just so much.
Dude,
Like,
I have to show you a video, and you're gonna
Warner
get.
Brothers is a whole.
I had to show you a video on that. And you're gonna get fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it on here. I'm gonna show you when we're done with this show. I'm gonna send you a link, and I know you're gonna get pissed off
Yeah.
about that whole WB bullshit.
Yeah, because they're fucking with everything. Like, it's like everything is uncertain right now.
Wait till
With
you
that.
hear what people think the reason is.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we're fans of CM Punk. We know what's going on. The guy's getting framed for murder. And instead of people looking at this, everyone's just like, yeah, you know what? I don't fucking like him because of what he said about WWE. I don't like him that he walked down on WWE. I don't like him because he said this. I don't like this. I remember when AJ Lee was retiring from WWE.
Hmm.
Somebody, a lot of these fans, these fans, right, were writing, "Man, CM Punk fucking sucks for taking AJ Lee away from us." And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? She's a fucking character on TV. Who cares? She's got a personal
Or
life. When somebody leaves a TV show, do you say, "Oh man, fuck the TV show for getting rid of this girl that I like"? It's like they're real people behind the scenes. They have lives. They do stuff,
or
you know. But I mean, that's the internet, right? I don't know who's worse, the video game community or the wrestling community, because they seem to be like the same. You got
I
these,
mean, they're starting to. They're even like, I shared that video with y'all the other day. They're starting to like infect people with New Japan now. It's like because of the whole Okada won the fucking G1 or whatever, and like all the freaking fans are mad because Ospreay didn't win. It's like, dude,
right?
that's their fucking business. It's like, what do you care? You know, that's just how the business is over there. Like, fucking Great Muta was on top of freaking Japan for like 20 years. This guy's like 60 years old and he's still winning fucking championships. Like, that's just how it is over there. They run off a traditional pro wrestling sense. So they still think it's like 1965 over there. So like you'll have guys with the belt for like 5 years, 8 year fucking title runs. That's how it is. They're traditional. Us is like, no, this guy's got to get his turn with the belt. That guy's got to get his turn with the belt. You know,
Yeah, Eddie Kingston's coming out and saying shit. I don't know if he's in character or he's. Uh,
yeah. I'm not even
while a
on
guest on
Twitter.
the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Presents podcast, quote, "I don't hate on anybody who makes it and makes money. That doesn't bother me. It's who the people are that bothers me. I don't care if people are better than me with money and all that stuff. I will never hate on that because the business we all gotta try to make a living. But I do not like but I will not like and I will not stand for people who are judgmental like Brian Danielson. CM Punk, who I think is a liar because he's lying to everyone, showing he's a nice guy. Claudio, he wants to go around telling everybody he's nice. Okay, this sounds like a shoot. Not a shoot. It sounds like in character
Yeah.
interview. This doesn't sound like a legit. Because he's hating on everybody at this point.
Eddie Kingston doesn't like anyone anyway. Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you something about Eddie Kingston, okay, brother? This guy wrestled last night. He needs to keep his fucking shirt on. For real.
Hey.
Because he took his singlet off a little bit when he was fighting that dude. Which was disgusting. They were fucking chopping each other and his broke all these blood vessels in his chest. And I'm like, this guy's gonna drop dead like in the ring now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kingston needs to keep his fucking clothes on. For real.
We're going back and forth doing
his bowling attire.
his bowling.
It looks like he's going bowling with that a black singlet with the yellow.
Yeah.
Looks like he's at a bowling alley or something.
Yeah, I can't say nothing bad about him. He's a cool guy.
No, I'm not saying he's not cool. I'm just saying his attire looks like bowling alley attire.
Yeah.
Trying to see now if there's anything else. I mean, look, this wasn't going to be like a podcast about everything going on. It's just, like I said before, we're going to come on here if something goes down. And we felt that this was something big to talk about.
I mean, now is like it just keeps on going with the like, okay, now what's gonna happen next? Who's leaving? Who's gonna stay? How like what is this? What's next now? Like
well, I mean, this
so
is like some big time drama with AEW because, like, look, this company needs to succeed. Like, we're not here to shit on AEW. We're just talking. It's just like me and you talking, and we have the chat room because the people in our chat room are our friends.
Yeah.
And they want it. Maybe they don't follow wrestling as closely as they used to, but they're watching and they're like, "Oh shit! Like this is happening." And then we have a lot of people. Literally, Jeff and Frank were here watching the show with me while we were at the shop. And then they see the scrum and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I have to explain to them, like, "Yeah, there's been stuff going on and blah blah blah." So we're just friends talking about this stuff. But you know what, man? I think that people need to like let up on CM Punk a lot. They do this to everybody. They do it to Goldberg. They do it to fucking Punk. They do it to anybody who comes back. They did it to Rock.
Yeah. The whole part timer thing started because of what? Because Rock came back and it was like, oh, he's a part timer. He's a Hollywood.
He's a part timer. Oh, but I love the Rock. Remember Brock Lesnar comes back and wins the title? And he goes home with the title. The title's on TV once a year. Remember, people were like, "Oh, he doesn't defend the title. He doesn't deserve it."
Right.
And then he comes out dancing with a cowboy hat on. Like, "Oh my god, I love Brock Lesnar. He's the best. He could take the title home and leave it there. I don't care. He's great." These fans are nuts. First you're mad the guy doesn't have the title there, and now it's okay because he showed he's a human being and has a cowboy hat and dances around for 5 seconds. Makes a lot of sense, right?
Right. I know.
Really quick, you wanted to talk about this guy at the castle.
Well, the castle. I didn't even see the fucking castle. I don't even remember what happened.
The guy in the front row that wore that shirt that you did not care for.
Oh,
because the minute that happened, you're like, "We need to go on."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Let me know." And then this Punk stuff
I'm
like
just
broke.
like, I mean, it kind of all piles on top of each other. You just have all these fucking people that do this just dumb stuff. It's like we can't leave the past in the past type thing. It's like we got to keep bringing up that this certain wrestler isn't in the Hall of Fame and he needs to
You
be
know
in the
what,
Hall of Fame
man?
because he's
Like,
a good
you
wrestler.
know what it
And
is? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people, but it's like, yeah, WWE won't say his name, so we're gonna say it for him. It's like, okay, there's a reason why. So why don't we just leave that alone and move on?
it's like, dude, you think this guy fucking David like wants to fucking see that his fucking dad's name is all over the fucking TV because people are like fucking saying shit about him? Like
I don't know, but it's just gotta
fucking
stop. You know what it is, man? These people are so fucked up that they'll wear shirts like this. They'll act stupid. It just it's like the internet. The people are toxic.
and people bullied
Every
like Martha
community on the
Hart.
internet's got a lot of toxicity, man. The
Yeah,
gaming, wrestling. I mean, it is bad,
yeah.
and it's only gonna get worse, man. I wish that people would just stop being dumb. People are
It's like,
smarter than this, and they choose not to be. They choose just to be friggin' maniacs.
yeah, I'm a better dad than this guy. Are you?
Well, I mean, by default, yeah, but you know, you look like you can't get fucking laid, dude, when you wear a shirt like that.
Right.
So,
To me, it's just like, dude, stop trying to get his name out there. It's never his name will forever be etched in the name
fuck his
of
name, okay? That's the whole point. Fuck him.
murder.
Get him
Okay,
out of here.
nobody wants to remember him. Nobody acknowledges him. They don't acknowledge him in fucking Canada. Nobody talks about him in fucking Japan where he was super popular. Like nobody does it. Like his name is forever like etched out of the fucking thing. They on the fucking big wall, like how in the fucking Washington D.C. they have all like the people that died in World War II and everything,
Oh,
and the
man.
wrestling wall with all the people that died in wrestling. His name is scratched off. Okay, they don't have his name on that fucking board anymore. Okay, like he's
I don't even know what the fuck
gone.
you're talking about at this point, but whatever. You're
I'm using
making
an
your own bet over here.
I'm using an analogy. Okay, what like his name is
Well, maybe I
scratched.
should do what Tony Khan didn't do last night and tell you to shut up.
um, but yeah, just stop bringing it up. Forget about him. He's freaking. That's it. It's over. It's done with. Just stop bringing it up, please.
I don't know.
But
People RWK88 in the chat room says Xbox got people on edge since 2017. Yes, and this has been going on in wrestling for a long time as well. They're bringing this guy. Oh my god, he's gonna ruin everything. Then they bring in another guy. Oh, the guy just complained about. He's cool. It's like Jesus God. Yo, the WWE guys are like the Sony guys. You
mhm.
can't tell them anything's wrong with the company. And then they tell you, oh, well, it's greatness. Triple H has been there for 2 months, and the project has changed for the best. I was like, what has he done? Besides bring back a bunch of fucking people every week.
Yeah, say a couple things
Which
on
he brought
comments.
back Braun Strowman tonight. What are they going to do with him?
I
Unless
don't
they have
know.
big plans for the guy, they might. I don't know. But what are they going to do with him? And how come WWE, when they bring back WWE rejects, it's, oh, they're coming home. WWE guys go to AEW. Oh, they're just WWE rejects. They couldn't get
Yeah,
over. It's like, guys, if you have fucking two diners in town, okay, and one closes, you're not gonna hire the waiters and waitresses from the other diner. Be like, oh no, they're from that diner. Nobody fucking cares. That's their occupation. They're gonna go work at another place. If you work at Best Buy and you get fired and go work at Target, you think the Target employees are like, that's the fucking guy from Best Buy that got fired. Nobody's gonna care where you came from. You're in the retail industry. You jump right back into retail.
Yeah, look at all the fucking
It's
guys
only in
working.
wrestling that they hold these fucking grudges against people. It's like, oh, and if they say why they left WWE, they're just bitter. No, you're fucking bitter because you're fucking stupid. These people are allowed to tell you what happened and what their experience was.
I gotta go work
Well,
somewhere.
when
There
they're
was a
talking bad about WWE, and I love WWE, and I know that WWE will fuck me in the ass and love me and kiss me and cuddle with me. It's like, shut up, dude. They don't care about you. They
there
just
was
want
one
the money in your wallet, just like all these other businesses on TV.
there was one company for 20 years. Where were all these guys gonna go fucking work?
Well, they're ex
They had
WWE guys, and they're all bitter,
fucking
and they can't get over, and they're not going to move the needle.
like you wouldn't have the crappy bullcrap indies that you have today if these guys didn't go work other places. Because back in like the 90s and all that, in the early 2000s, the only real independent place was Ring of Honor. Like they really weren't indies were not really that big as like they are today. You
Whatever.
know,
It's
like,
just,
these guys need
you know what it is?
fucking
There's
work.
no territories anymore. Triple H doesn't know how to pick talent out of his ass. Okay? That's why he had Regal and Road Dogg do it for him and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
And they pick all the racist freaking
And by the
Florida.
way, well, now they do, but by the way, um, they were just grabbing guys off the indies with buzzwords, buzz names or whatever. You know what I mean? Buzzwords.
Soldier.
Names with buzz. And that's all he was doing. He was buying everybody out like Vince used to do with the territories.
Yeah.
Vince did WrestleMania 1 with all AWA guys. He was like, hey, AWA roster, you want to be on TV at Madison Square Garden? Take my money.
Yeah,
They all
TV
took
on
his
tape.
money and they all went up there. They left Vern high and dry.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of people said fuck Vern because he was ripping everybody off. So who knows what the truth is, but that's what we've been hearing over the past 40 years.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean, Vern?
What if Vern was Vern Gagne? Freaking
Are there any questions in the chat room about this media scrum thing? Because we're probably going to wrap it up with this. There's not much more to talk about. But I think people should give these guys a chance and see what's going on, man. But I don't know how they handled all this. But this guy CM Punk is not a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to tell people. Just enjoy fucking pro wrestling, and nobody does. It's like the thing with games. Enjoy the games, and nobody does.
Everybody has to
Game
feel
Pass
like
is
they're
unsustainable, so you shouldn't be on it because they're going to raise the price.
yeah.
It's like, okay, they're going to raise the price in like 5 fucking years, okay? You can enjoy Game Pass tonight and tomorrow. Don't worry, the big bad price hike isn't coming yet, and when it does, guess what? You're not being forced to fucking stay on Game Pass. You can cancel whenever you want. It's like a scare tactic. Well, they're going to raise the price. So what? Oh, well, you just... Sony raised the price on you motherfuckers, and they actually did it. I've been hearing about Game Pass. The price is going to be raised for fucking 5-6 years now. They've never raised the price of Game Pass. The price.
the Pisces.
Will there be an after show? No.
No, we're gonna go to bed.
Yeah, we gotta go to sleep. Maybe if I wake up at like 3 in the morning, I'll do another one.
Do we want to talk about the Riddler real quick?
The Riddler?
Yeah, WWE's the Riddler.
Who?
I don't want to say his name either.
The Riddler in WWE?
Yeah, the Riddler.
Oh, you wanted to talk about that. I didn't want to talk about that. At first, I'm thinking, who the fuck is duct taping people? But apparently, allegedly, this person might be duct taping women.
I don't know how that got still employed, but
Go ahead, Eli. This was what you.
uh,
I totally
I
forgot about this whole thing because I don't really follow this guy and I really don't care. But go ahead.
I don't. You brought it. You brought it to us in the chat, and I was just like, "Yo,
I
this
just
guy's
said,
fucking."
"Hey, what is this
Look,
all about?" And then you were
I'm
like,
just gonna say one thing. Yo, this guy's a maniac. All right, his fetishes get way too out of fucking control. I don't know the whole situation with that fucking girl because all I know is at some point it became something else. And this guy, the Riddler, I don't know. He needs some fucking major help because those messages were fucking wild. Like he wrote like freaking 10 freaking paragraphs. He wrote like an entire thesis freaking paper, like describing shit, all sorts of stuff, and it's like, I can't even say like what anything from what those messages were. Like it was disgusting, dude.
"Yeah,
I don't know.
well, I I don't know what else the guy wrote besides what I saw, and I was like, I showed you. I was like, what is going on with this? Like, what is up? But if
Yeah,
there's worse stuff than that, then I don't know. If there is, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't follow that guy. I don't follow WWE like that. But whatever. But yeah, I would say everyone just be nice and fucking don't be stupid. CM Punk is not there to destroy AEW. The guy's there to put on a show for you guys, and I would just enjoy it while you can, man. Yeah, I'm a fan of the guy. I'm gonna stick up for him. Now, if something comes out that's if there's like a video where he's screwing everything up and he's doing stupid shit, then I'll be like, yo, it was wrong. The guy's a maniac.
yeah.
But I haven't seen that. I think he's the most one of the most understood people in wrestling.
I think he's just put up with a lot of bullshit over the years, and he's tired of seeing the same old
Yeah.
stuff that's been going for the entirety of wrestling. He wants the business to change, so I can't blame him.
Well, with that note, as I'm starting to fall asleep here, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I want to thank Jesus. I want to thank RWK. I want to thank Richard. I want to thank Hockey Fan. I want to thank The Alchemist. And once again, if you want to watch weekly pro wrestling news on YouTube, go to M3TV for the rock solid Wrestling Talk podcast.
Hell yeah,
I think they took a break, but they'll be back. I think they uploaded their they had their live show last night. You were in the stream, right?
yeah,
I couldn't be in the stream because we had the computer going with two monitors, and that was it. And we were watching that, falling asleep, literally falling asleep. Some of the matches were way too long. So don't forget about that parody. Don't worry. It'll happen. Uh Thanks for streaming. No problem. Thanks for watching. Both of you guys. Alright, we're gonna
yeah.
wrap it up. Everyone take care, stay safe out there. Hey, if anything breaks about this story, like if it gets worse or if it gets better, if there's a resolution, we'll come back on here in a couple days and let you guys know what's going on. So hopefully everything works out. I mean, look, AEW needs all these guys. Tony Khan's got to put his foot down, get these guys in a room, say, look, it's got to go down like this. If the guys are fired or they leave or there's a lawsuit, I don't know what is going to happen. We don't even know if that fight was real or not. Whatever
Yeah.
happens is going to be interesting one way or another. So I would say just don't dig on this guy, CM Punk. The guy came back. He didn't have to come back. And he comes back and he's got to deal with all this bullshit. That's why he left in the first place. So
Yeah.
appreciate the guy while you have him, because he might say, you know what, fuck this shit, walk away. You'll never see him again. And if that happens, what am I going to watch for? I'm going to watch AEW knowing that these guys ran him out of fucking wrestling? I don't want to watch wrestling at that point. That's not what it's all about. It's about having fun and watching these guys. Yeah, they're going to have problems and drama, but they got to settle it like men.
Exactly. They got to do what's best for the business so they can continue to make their
Yeah,
money.
AEW. Listen, whatever the outcome is, excuse me. If AEW can resolve this, AEW can get past everything. If AEW has to make decisions, you're looking at a brand new company because they're not
Mhm.
going to be the same way that they were.
No.
So hopefully they could just get everybody to agree to work together, stop the bullshit, and just off to the races because they need to build a competitor to WWE.
They need places for guys to work.
That's another thing too. So
Guys need places to
that's
work.
you know what, that's a really good point too because these guys are fucking around now. Well, look what happened with WCW. So many people lost their jobs that Vince wouldn't hire, and they were
Mhm.
finished.
There was no money back then. Like guys took significant freaking pay cuts, like working for the fucking indies. A lot of these guys, like you go from making $500,000 a year to making $200 a freaking week if you're lucky.
That's what I'm saying. Like
You
it
know,
affects everybody. So, and I think
so
that's what CM Punk was trying to get across. Like, hey, I'm here to make this place better and all this other shit. And you got everybody leaking stuff, and it's not good. So, all right,
mhm.
I'll catch you later. Take care, everyone. Peace. Good night.
99.
Stay safe out there. Bye.
You got